This is Sutra 15. The whole Sutra talks about way of life, right? Well, basically you find that how come they call this Yoga Sutra, but seems to be just focused on the life itself. Life that we want to achieve. We want to achieve a life which is balanced. Now, balance means we need to focus completely. You are here, you must not be focused on anything else, then we are not able to fine-tune our life, correct? So, in everything that we do, you will find that we are not able to attain the best because we are easily distracted. Easily distracted from the so-called objects of the senses. But it's actually not the objects. It is not your phone. It is not your iPad, it is not the food on the table, it is not the friend next to you, it is not the sound that is coming from the cars or the vehicles that are moving up and down in your vicinity. Nothing to do with this. It is the untrained senses. So here, we have heard that the only way to progress is to train, and that training is called abhyasa. So all this we are doing is to attain mastery of the 5 vrittis. Yoga, in the context of Patanjali, who is accepted as an authority in yoga, says that the definition of yoga is when we are able to thin the fluctuations of the mind. When we practice the asanas, it is towards that objective. The practice of the asanas that you were doing just now, that 1 hour when you were doing, you were reducing the distractions of the mind. Through what? Through movements. And the main vehicle to reduce the distractions were the breathing patterns. So the moment we structured the breathing patterns, we found that the distractions reduced. So physical activity together with breath awareness, which creates mindfulness, is Hatha Yoga. Objective is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Reduce the distractions and dissipations of the mind. And then you will find that, how come I feel so peaceful? How is this peace is felt within me, which I did not feel at other times? I did not even feel this kind of harmony when I was sleeping, or when I was watching a movie, or when I was interacting with my friends. But this which comes from within, where is it coming from? It's not coming from the surroundings, it's not coming from anything elsewhere, it is coming from inside. And an intelligent mind, a mind which is opening up to wisdom, will attempt to go deeper and deeper into this, because it has experienced that everything else which is outside has a terminating point, right? So you have very nice food, you eat, you enjoy that, at that moment, then immediately after that someone says something not so pleasant. Whatever that we felt pleasant from the eating experience is neutralized. Sometimes you don't even feel that happiness continuing, or you may feel totally opposite. You may feel very angry or upset. But what happened to that joy that you felt when you were eating this very tasty food? The next moment someone says something, this whole experience is destroyed. See how temporary the external experiences are. Or you have some very nice moments with your friend or your family member, very nice, and then after half an hour later, you receive a call which is very upsetting. What happened to that 1 or 2 or 3 hours of just very superb happiness? 3 hours of superb happiness, 1 hour gap, then after that you receive a call with a very bad news. What happened to that? So you see that throughout our life, we have seen that the world of senses are not permanent. Therefore, would you then run away from all this? Say all these not permanent, the food also not permanent, the taste, my friends also not giving me permanent happiness, spouse also no, work also no, everything no. So I go to where? No place? A place of no return? Oh, you go there also, you will still have the insect bites. The mosquitoes will still trouble you. The food may not be according to your taste. So many things will be happening. So here, the Sutra says that find it inside. You have to find it inside. The more we practice, the more we are experiencing it, the more we are able to capture and depend on this, which does not change. This experience inside does not change because it is not at all dependent on your body strength. Even the asanas are inferior to that experience of what is happening inside. Because the asanas can change, right? I mean, every Saturday we have different experience. Right now, sometimes we feel, how come I was able to do this 2 weeks ago? Today I feel a bit frustrating. Still, my body doesn't seem to be supporting me. And then when we do Bhastrika, I cannot reach 120. 2 weeks ago I could reach 140. Though I was asked to do 120, I cheated, I did 140. No, I am trying to do 120 also cannot. Is it still not able to bring that fullness? But that which is inside, which we are training to expand and feel inside, that essence, that silence that is inside, does not depend on your age, does not depend on your flexibility, does not depend on anything that is related to the physical body. That is why individuals who are experiencing severe physical issues are still able to find absolute balance and centeredness when they draw their feelings from inside. They tested the mechanism of the body experiencing pain. There was some studies which seems to be quite popular nowadays. They want to study how pain can be reduced through mind-body training. So they tested the pain of someone experiencing, for example, tooth extraction with minimum intervention, drug intervention. So let them feel a little bit of pain, little bit. So during the time they measured the pain threshold. Let's say the pain threshold, the maximum pain limit is 12. They could see that with little bit of drug intervention, just a little bit so that they can feel the pain, it went up to almost 10. The same person with the same dosage of drug intervention, drug means here is just to numb the pain, with the same dosage, but spoken to from a meditative state. Someone was speaking to them, saying that you are relaxed, that you feel that you are able to manage this from inside, there's so much of peace coming from inside. That experience of pain to the same person with the same drug dosage was 2. So much reduction. So the meditations that we are doing, the interaction that you are creating in the form of introspection, that when some things are going so detrimental outside, you keep saying that I can overcome, I can still feel centered, I can become much more aware of what's happening inside me, I can bring harmony and peace within me, which is still inferior to the state of meditation, because in the practice of meditation, there is no positive affirmation. You don't even need to have that. The practices that we do in asanas and pranayama, that experience that you are going inside is an experience, is not positive affirmation, isn't it? It's not positive affirmation. You keep on doing this, when things are chaotic outside, which happens all the time within our lifetime, will not be able to distract that silence. It's actually silence. It is deep silence and deep peace. And that is called Vairagya. This is called Vairagya, the experience of this deep centeredness inside. And Patanjali says that in order to experience this, what is the main point in the previous sutra? What are the two ladders of yoga? Abhyasa and Vairagya. Abhyasa is practice. Continuous practice over a long period of time with reverence, no distractions to the practice. Continuous practice over a period of long time with great attraction to the practice allows us to experience this. Energy medicine or mind-body technology or medicine without medicine says that the best medicine on earth which cannot be produced, which has not been produced, most probably cannot be produced ever, is inside us. The greatest medicine that we need in our life right now, even for ailments within the body, is available inside us. And do you know how it is manufactured? You won't know because it's not manufactured. It is stimulated through just one emotion. What is emotion? What emotion is that? Bliss. No, not the yogurt bliss. Don't go downstairs to 99 and open the bliss. Bliss. That is temporary. Right? This one is the bliss that comes from inside. So here we will conclude with the reading of the verse. When an individual, who is the individual? Not your neighbor. You, not me, it's you. When an individual becomes free from craving for the sense objects which he has experienced. So we have experienced something which is very pleasurable. When it is not there, you crave for that. You have experienced something, let's say a cup of tea, very nice tea made by your grandmother. Drink, very nice. And grandmother goes to England. Unfortunately, she has migrated. Oh, when she coming back, I crave for that. No happiness. So, I'm just giving you one example. But it could be many other things which you have experienced. Oh, so much of pleasure from this contact point with the senses. Now, no, don't have craving for that. It is not going to make us happy. Vairagya means you experience that tea from grandmother. Drink, let go. No more craving. That is freedom, isn't it? So next time when grandmother comes back from England and gives you the tea, that enjoyment and then letting go. So when you let go, then you are able to continue living in fullness, isn't it? That every moment becomes a full moment. When the tea comes, it becomes a little bit more extra fullness. And then after you release and then still continue with the fullness. So this craving must be dissolved from our consciousness so that we can sit here and be in peace. Otherwise, you're thinking about that. Oh, what happened to this? Why my boyfriend is not there? Why he didn't talk nice to me? You are here, I'm talking to you. You're thinking about your boyfriend. So that is called craving, and it is not a nice feeling. Boyfriend, let go for a while. Let go. After class, then we can contact back. But no. So this is Vairagya. Attach and then detach and then attach a little bit. So when you attach, detach, then the attachment is not so strong. Which means you can detach and find a new boyfriend. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Don't misinterpret this technology. Be very careful. I don't want your boyfriend to come and say, "Yo, my girlfriend said you can attach, detach." So this is the craving. Now which he has experienced. Now you can only have that craving after experiencing. That experience need to be total in order for detachment to take place. If it is half-hearted, it is not going to be full. So even to experience that pleasure of drinking the tea which grandmother has made, your mind must be complete. These are the hallmarks of a very highly evolved mind. I have seen students who are successful in their studies because they have such absolute concentration. We have seen so-called uneducated people, so-called. I met a very successful general manager of a big plant. He's managing 500 people. he doesn't know how to read and write. But the company, a multinational company, promoted him from a factory. He 15 years ago he entered as a factory worker, but now he is the general manager of that particular company, earning about 35,000 a month only because of his ability to concentrate. He was seen as a person who can really concentrate, and he speaks fluent English right now, even though he still cannot read and write as good as maybe a person who has gone to from standard 6. That bad, but his command of language is so good just by hearing. And when you talk to him, you can see full concentration. And he says that everything that he does, full concentration. Because he always feels inferior. Because he is uneducated, he feels inferior, therefore, he brings his full focus to everything that he does. So you see, even something which we call as a handicap is brought into such a state of refinement, because he was able to eventually detach from that feeling in order to attain this. Because if he did not detach, he would not have the confidence to accept that post, right? So there was a form of detachment. And that happened because even in Vairagya, you need to have the ability to focus fully when there is an attachment. When there is a contact point, there must be total concentration. When you have totally concentrated, you can detach. Can you get this? Now, when you are interacting with someone, or let's say you are listening to me, or you are reading something, a book, or you are listening to your boss, or interacting with your parents, your spouse and all that, or children, when you give your total attention, it is so total and so fulfilling that when you move to another interaction, another process, you are not thinking about this anymore. Do you believe this? Otherwise, when you move to the next interaction or the third interaction, you'll be thinking, what was the actual thing that was happening just now? Or was I actually there at that moment? Or was I not? Many people feel guilty when they were not able to do their best. Now I received an SMS a few days ago where this SMS was talking about what I should have done for my mother. It was an anniversary of his mother's death. It was big writing about what so definitely a feeling of guilt. You know why? Because during that time, did not give attention. I'm not saying that give $10,000 a month to your mother, no. When she is speaking, you give your full attention. No, okay, mother, I'm spending time with my boyfriend, maybe, or girlfriend. I'm not giving full attention. Your mother may not have been the best mother, or your father may not have been the best, or your sibling, your spouse may not be perfect. Nobody is perfect in this world. But at least you have given your full attention. Even when the person is scolding you, you give full attention. Full attention, so that person also feels that this communication is complete. This is the psychology of interaction, the psychology of Vairagya, the psychology of being able to detach and not feel guilty throughout our lives is when we are able to give our full attention to the moments. As we attend fully to the moments, then detachment can take place. Do not think that by not interacting fully or giving our full attention, I am then not practicing attachment. No. That will become a form of guilt and confusion after that. So at every moment, giving our full attention, being a person known for concentration and the ability to give everything at that moment. And then moving to the next moment and the next moment. 10 years later, you see your life, there are no regrets. No guilt, no regrets, because you have given your full attention. I'm not saying that you become a servant to that situation. Actually, you become a master of that situation. You have so complete mastery of that situation and you can detach. The only way we can practice Vairagya or detachment is when we become completely aware and a master of that situation. Not a superior feeling, Psychology says that a person who is showing a superiority complex, have you heard about this inferiority complex and superiority complex? They say that only inferiority complex exists because the person who is giving superiority complex, Nitya, am I right? The person who is showing superiority complex is actually hiding inferiority complex, because of the inability to feel harmony during the moments that pass by in our life. So the only way healing is going to take place is that when you give your total undivided concentration. This is the subject matter of yoga techniques. The subject matter of yoga technique is giving our undivided attention. And to give our undivided attention, Hatha Yoga has to take place. 5,000 years ago, when you read the writings of yoga, they say that Raja Yoga or the yoga of Yajna, you sit in front of the fire and then you do the contemplation practices. Nowadays, it cannot happen. Because as long as the body is restless, as long as the body is filled with stress and strains and tensions, how can we engage the mind? I am talking to someone and there is a lot of tensions in the back. Can I give my full attention? Will there be harmony in the interactions? Cannot, because there is pain in the back, neck, knee and all these places. But when I have done my yoga practice in the morning, I have stretched myself completely, stretching away all the stresses and strains in the body, then the whole day the interactions can be much more complete because I am not distracted by the physical distractions. So Hatha Yoga, the stretching away of the stresses and strains in the body is number one in the practice of Vairagya. So the attachment to the practice every morning is like medicine. If I don't do, I don't feel good. If I don't practice yoga in the morning, that whole day doesn't feel complete. Because the quality has increased. The quality of your life has increased. Therefore, you feel so much connected with the practice, and then happens that the mind becomes free. The mind cannot be free if there are issues with the body. So all parts of the practice is essential. Hatha Yoga in the morning, half an hour, pranayama in between, and then some form of meditation or concentration in between. So you spend about 1 hour in a day. Doesn't mean that 1 hour in one sitting, half an hour, and then 10 minutes, 5 minutes in between some activities. Or even at work you can practice a little bit of yoga. So with this, we conclude that the state of consciousness, which is able to attach at will, and then what is the next state? Detach at will. And the next moment, attach at will. The next moment after that, detach at will is true mastery of our life. So I'm spending a few moments here extra from usual because I want you to master this technology where you can attach and detach. If you can do this, suffering would end. This is the key. If we can attach and detach at will, suffering would end almost immediately. Please experiment and tell me next week. Namaskar, thank you very much.